What's up, Spud Nation? Week 16, Merry Christmas, and more importantly, Super Bowl week. Hey, this is what we played for all season long, and we're here, and we're ready to win some money. I love it. Hey, this is what we played all season long for. Survived the injury bug, survived all those crappy trades thrown our way, and guess what? We're here. We're ready to make some money. Congrats to all you who made it. I'm happy I can help and happy to be part of your crazy, crazy journey to the top. This is what we got to do. We got to put our optimum lineups out there this week. We got to get the job done, and we got to take home the trophy, the bragging rights, and of course, the cash. It's what we got to do. It's what we're going to do. Spud Nation, we're all about winning. Let's get it done. Hey, that being said, I want to throw something out to you guys. Next year, when you're getting ready for all your fantasy football stuff, think of me. Think of the sports coach. Think of Craig. This is what I do. I'm here to help you guys. Spread the word. Tell everybody. I am starting a consulting firm next year. Fantasy football consulting. Doing what I do here, except I'm doing it on an individual basis. You come to me, you pay me, you get me. That's how it's going to go down. Hey, for some of you it worked out really well this year. You get all my advice. You get draft day help. I'm just going to be selling my ranking sheets. All that fun stuff. You can find it all on thesportscoach.com. I'm going to do it up big. I'm going to do it up right. And I'm going to continue to get you guys to the Super Bowl like I've done this year. If you don't believe me, check out, you know what? Just check out my percentages, man. All over YouTube. They're all over everywhere. I've been knocking them out of the park. I'm taking you guys to the top, and I'm going to continue doing that. All right, that's just a little tidbit. That's what's going down next year. But let's concentrate on getting the W's this year. All right? Super Bowl week, let's get started. Let's get your victories. Again, you have any questions, comments, concerns, you guys know how to find me. Craig at thesportscoach.com. That is CRAIG at thesportscoach.com. You know I get back to you right away. Send me a tweet. The Sports Coach. That's what I do. Tweet me. I'll tweet you right back. Or hit up the actual website, thesportscoach.com. I got Facebook. Any avenue that you need, I'm here. Let's go. Send me a question. I'll get it right. You'll score the points, and you'll win. All right, Thursday Night Football. Of course, NFL's got to keep it funky this week. Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. But we're getting started on Thursday night. Houston, everything's all wrapped up, taking on Indy. Coming off, yes, that's right, their first win of the season. Houston, you got a couple guys that you need to start. I love Arian Foster. I'm playing against him in my Super Bowl, so that sucks. But Arian Foster is a must start. The dude can play. He finds the end zone. He's a yardage whore. He does it up big. I also really like Ben Tate. He hasn't found the end zone lately, but still getting the carries. Still getting decent yardage. He's a definite flex play this week. On the flip side, Indianapolis. They have Donald Brown. That's about it. That's the only guy you can really consider a fantasy starter this week. And I still look at Donald Brown if you're a really rough shape running back team, which one of my clients is. Rough shape at the running back position. Injury bug. Or just kind of whiffed in the draft. Either way, pick up Donald Brown. Guess what? Came through huge last week. It's, that's how you got to do in fantasy football. Survive in advance. That's what happened. Donald Brown stepped up big. Touchdowns, baby. I love it. So I like Donald Brown again. He's getting carries, and opportunity is the name of the game. A nice flex play or running back too, depending on your running back situation. I also like Owen Daniels for Houston. He's a sneaky play. He's a top 12 tight end for me. He seems to be a nice, favorable target for Mr. Yates. So Owen Daniels, if you have him, depending on your tight end situation, Daniels could be a nice fit for you. Saturday games. We have a huge slate of Saturday games, so make sure your lineups are all set, and make sure you're following the injury report on Saturday. I know, holiday weekend, but fantasy Super Bowl weekend, you got to get it done. So here we go, Miami versus New England. New England, they are who they are. I love Rob Gronkowski. Keep him in your lineup. I know last week, kind of a tanker, but Gronk, he's been a touchdown machine. He's going to be in my starting lineup. Put him in your starting lineup and watch him produce. Tom Brady, obviously, he is who he is. I also really like Wes Welker, and I think with Rob Gronkowski producing again, it takes Aaron Hernandez's value back down medium level to minimum level. Not a starting tight end this week. I love Gronk, and I think he's going to get many, many targets. For Miami, Reggie Bush has become an absolute fantasy machine. Rushed for 200 yards last week. Found the end zone. Bush, I doubted you early, man. You were a great pickup for Miami. Awesome job. Reggie Bush is a must start. New England defense is horrible, as they showed last week. I also like Brandon Marshall, receiver 3, maybe a flex position. I'm not completely sold on him. He drops way too many balls, especially in the red zone, where it really counts there. He busted off that really long touchdown last week. He was on my bench. I'm not sold on Brandon Marshall at all. So, flex play, wide receiver 3, at best, even against that horrible New England secondary. Jaguars, Titans. Jaguars only have Maurice Jones-Drew. That's it. For the Tennessee Titans, Chris Johnson, you start him. He's going to get his carries. And I also like Damian Williams. A lot of targets in the red zone. He is their number 1 target, basically on the field. I just like him. Opportunity is huge. He sees a lot of opportunity. And when they get in the red zone, if they're not running it, they're throwing it to Damian Williams. So, huge right there. And they're going to move the ball a lot on Jacksonville. So, a lot of opportunity for Mr. Williams. Giants taking on the Jets. Giants, I like Hakeem Nicks as a play. I like Victor Cruz as a play. And I also like Eli Manning. Coming off a very rough game last week. Going up against a Jets defense who is pretty darn good. The Giants are going to have to throw the ball. That's what they do. They're not an overly aggressive running team. So look for him to try and air it out. And he's going to throw it to Nicks. Whether or not he catches it is anyone's guess. But Nicks, he's a fantasy starter. And Victor Cruz, obviously a start. On the flip side, you're looking at Santonio Holmes, Plaxico Burress. I really like Dustin Keller in this matchup. Giants secondary, not the greatest thing. And I think Sean Green, he'll get back to his 20 carries. He should find pay dirt. I think the Jets will be able to move the ball against the Giants, depending. Mark Sanchez is always the wild card. Which one's going to show up? He's never extraordinarily amazing, but he sure can blow some major goats. If he can find that happy medium in there, he's going to do all right. Should be able to move the ball on the Giants. But like I said, he is their wild card in this entire game. So those are my guys. That's who I think you should start. Tampa Bay taking on Carolina. Tampa Bay, LeGarrette Blount, he's my only starter for the Buccaneers. The rest of them, way too risky. And for Carolina, love Cam Newton. Steve Smith should have a nice big game. And I really feel like Carolina is going to run all over Tampa. My hunch is it's going to be Cam Newton. Cam Newton, look for him to score 2 rushing touchdowns. Now the other 2 running backs, Jonathan Stewart, DeAngelo Williams. Flip a coin. It's such a crapshoot in their backfield. Some weeks it'll be Stewart getting 10 carries. Other weeks it'll be DeAngelo Williams with 10 carries. Very risky. They get in the goal line. I think it's going to be Cam Newton all day long. So if I had to pick one of those 3, it would be Cam Newton. Cam Newton to run, Cam Newton to throw. Look for him to do work. And also Steve Smith should get targeted frequently this week. Cleveland versus Baltimore. Baltimore D, I think, should be a nice play this week. And Ray Rice. The Browns, I don't see anyone doing anything special. Hillis will try to run. Ravens D is pretty solid. So good luck, Cleveland. Arizona taking on Cincinnati. Arizona, Larry Fitzgerald, you're one of the best in the game. You got to start him. regardless of who's throwing him the ball. And the season that Beanie Wells is having, great season, all that good stuff. Cincinnati Bengals defense is going to pose a very, very difficult task for Mr. Wells. I don't like him as a start this week. He's probably one of the horses that got you to this point. So, I mean, if you're a loyal guy, stick him in your starting lineup. I don't like the matchup. Bengals run defense, very solid. Bengals defense in general, very solid. So, Beanie Wells, I have him on the bench this week. As far as Cincinnati, I really love A.J. Green. Hurt, I understand that. He's going to get his targets, though. It sounds as though he's going to play. So, A.J. Green, he's a must-start every week. And I don't like Cedric Benson as a start either. I don't see either team running the ball especially well. So, A.J. Green, you're my lone warrior here for Cincinnati. Vikings taking on the Redskins. Let's just say Adrian Peterson is back. 10 carries, 60 yards, nothing spectacular. But, like I said last week, it's going to throw a humongous monkey wrench into the Minnesota Vikings. Percy Harvin has been huge without Adrian Peterson. Where was he last week? Told you last week. Harvin would disappear. He did. He vanished. When Adrian Peterson is in the lineup, they tend to shy away from Percy Harvin. I don't understand it. Maybe the coaching system is just not smart enough to have two superstars back there. But for whatever reason, Harvin disappears, and he did. I don't see why he would break out of his shell suddenly this week. So Harvin on the bench. Toby Gerhart, yeah, he decided to score 2 touchdowns last week. He's too risky to start against anyone with Adrian Peterson back. So Peterson, looks like you're our starter for the Minnesota Vikings. As far as the Redskins, I love Roy Halou. Opportunity is huge in this game. I don't care what kind of defense you're going up against. Halou will get the ball 20-plus times. He'll catch the ball 3 to 5 times. Halou is a must-start. Since coming on, he has been tremendously efficient, and you got to have him in your starting lineup. And Santana Moss has been pretty hot lately, finding the end zone 2 weeks in a row, which is very huge for any Washington receiver. I don't see that stopping this week. Grossman, look for Moss. I think Moss will find the end zone once again. It won't be a huge game. Look for somewhere in the 70-yard range and a touchdown, but Moss should have a nice, solid game. Denver taking on Buffalo. Denver coming off their slugfest. Tim Tebow, you're a starter this week. He should destroy that Buffalo defense. Buffalo playing horribly lately. Demaryius Thomas, if you went and picked him up, like I hope many of you did, he's done nothing but return any favor you've ever done for him. Thomas has been huge. He's Tebow's number 1 guy. Tebow is starting to throw the ball more in that offense. I love all signs pointing to Thomas having a nice, solid week against Buffalo. I'm putting him in my starting lineup. Tebow, you're a starter. And I like Willis McGahee as a flex play this week. Touches are, right around the 15 mark. Yards have diminished a little bit. Red zone touches going down. Why would you? Tim Tebow is their best running back in the red zone, and he shows it. Tebow gets the carries in the red zone. Sorry, McGahee, your value drops off. As far as Buffalo, Denver's defense, pretty solid. CJ Spiller, you're a starter. I'm on board with you. Opportunity, I keep saying that word, very huge. Spiller keeps getting his touches. He's catching passes. He's running for long touchdowns. I start him out of sheer opportunity standpoint here. Spiller versus that Denver D. I'm rolling the dice. A lot of opportunity for him. Someone's got to score for Buffalo. Why not have it be him? Rams taking on Steelers. Pittsburgh D, great play this week. Mendenhall should be able to run against that weak Rams defense. And I also like Antonio Brown, obviously. Mike Wallace, obviously. And I guess the wild card is Big Ben going to play? And if he plays, how effective is he going to be? He's not going up against the powerhouse defense like the 49ers this week. He's playing the Rams. They're very poor. So look for Ben to do, even hurt, to have a solid game. Nothing extraordinary. Look for Mendenhall to be able to run against the defense for once this year. Talk about an inconsistent player. That's him. But those are my guys. I think Pittsburgh should have no problem with St. Louis. As far as St. Louis, Steven Jackson, he'd be my only start. I know Pittsburgh's run defense is very solid. Jackson's going to get the ball a bunch. Opportunity, there you go, Steven Jackson. Raiders, Chiefs. Michael Bush, it looks like he'll be in line to start again as of today, which is Tuesday night. McFadden has not practiced. So, great signs for Michael Bush owners, which I'm one of them. Thank you, Darren McFadden. And Darius Hayward-Bay, he showed up last week. It was pretty ironic to see. So, I mean, if you're really stretching for a receiver 3, maybe a deep flex play, Hayward-Bay, there's your guy. For the Chiefs, just when you thought they had a weapon in Dwayne Bowe, yeah, he hasn't scored a lot of touchdowns lately, but he was getting targeted. Kyle Orton stepped to the helm. We all thought this would be great for Dwayne Bowe. It wasn't. Targets went down, catches went down, yards went down. Don't jump on the train right now. I mean, it's the last week of the season, so stay away from Dwayne Bowe. San Diego, Detroit. Calvin Johnson. That's why I draft you, my man. Calvin Johnson was huge, and for those of you who had him, welcome to the Super Bowl. That's how it goes. Great job, stud step up when you need him to. You start Megatron, you start Matthew Stafford. They're must-starts against a red-hot San Diego team. San Diego's going to put up points. Detroit's going to put up points. This should be really fun to watch. Ryan Matthews running just as good as anybody in the league. Phillip Rivers finally not throwing interceptions every time he throws. Antonio Gates, a must-start in your fantasy tight end spot. And the San Diego receivers. This is where you run into a lot of trouble. I got questions about Vincent Jackson last week. Do I start Ryan Matthews? Do I start Vincent Jackson? Well, Ryan Matthews was a clear-cut start. He went the other way, but still won his fantasy matchup, so I forgive you out there. But I'm telling you, San Diego receivers are way, way, way too much of a risk, especially in your Super Bowl week. If you need to hit home runs, yeah, then you take a long shot. But if you want to play it safe, get solid points, I would look elsewhere. If you have other options, maybe a guy like James Jones out there, or Donald Driver. Green Bay is going to throw the ball a ton. I like those guys better than even a Vincent Jackson who, I mean, it's a risk every week. Whether he's going to get 2 catches, whether he's going to get 10. You never know. Philly, Dallas. Talk about the game of the week right here. This should be really fun to watch. Brent Selleck, the hottest tight end out there over the past, ever since Michael Vick came back. Vick loves him. He looks for Selleck. That's his guy. So Selleck must start. Michael Vick playing very well. And LaShawn McCoy, probably the hottest running back in the game right now. As far as Dallas, I'm playing Tony Romo. So I hope he tanks this week. But, let's get real. He's going to have a huge game. Eagles' defense is not very good, and Romo has weapons at his disposal. He's got Dez Bryant, who I think is fantastic. Laurent Robinson, been amazing. Miles Austin, touchdowns every week since he came back. And then you roll in a little Jason Witten, just a safety valve, nothing special. And then you got Felix Jones running like a monster. Dallas has a very, very, very high-octane offense, and Philly's going to have a hell of a time stopping them. As far as rating the receivers and tight end, this is how I'd go with them. Dez Bryant, my number 1. Miles Austin, number 2 option. Robinson, and then Witten. Those are my guys, but like I said, Romo consistently spreads the ball out. He's got so many great weapons. They're all getting 3 to 5, 6, 7 catches a game, and multiple guys are scoring. You got to love that about Dallas. Gives you a lot of opportunity. Back to my Vincent Jackson. This is a great example. I love Laurent Robinson. I would start Robinson over Vincent Jackson this week. There's an example for you. 49ers taking on Seattle. Frank Gore, Vernon Davis. You start them. Those are their offensive weapons. And for Seattle, their lone offensive weapon is Marshawn Lynch. But he's running up against a 49ers defense that does not budge against the run. This should be a great battle of wills here. And I'm pretty excited to watch this. Never thought I'd say that about a Seattle game, but I'm very excited to see what they do with Marshawn Lynch versus that defense. Lynch has scored a touchdown in 10 straight games. I think this could be the game that stops his streak. There you go. Personally, if you have Marshawn Lynch, you're starting him. Opportunity is huge. He's getting 20, 25 touches, plus receiving the ball. But be wary, the 49ers defense, very, very strong. Jumping over Sunday, Merry Christmas. That's what it's all about. Green Bay taking on Chicago. Watch for the Packers to come out full of piss and fire. It's all on. You want to see Aaron Rodgers throw the ball. If you survived with Aaron Rodgers as your starting quarterback, look for a humongous fantasy game on Sunday. He's going to bring you home the Super Bowl. If you're playing against Aaron Rodgers, good luck. I'm telling you, this guy is going to throw the ball everywhere. If you have Donald Driver, James Jones, Jordy Nelson for sure, any of those guys, you are going to be very, very happy. I just see it now. Packers are going to score at least 40-some points. They're going to throw the ball everywhere. This could be a huge game for multiple Packers. If I rated them, Nelson, then I would go Jones, then I would go Driver. That's how I'd rate the Packer receivers in playing order. And on the flip side, Chicago. Yeah, Marion Barber is their workhorse. But wait, what the hell happened last week? The previous week, Barber's getting 20-plus carries, and then they just cut him out of the offense last week. Very strange, but it's the Chicago Bears. This kid, Kahil Bell, he led the team in rushing attempts, yards, and receiving catches and yards. He did it all. One would think that he's got to be their guy this week. I'm rolling the dice with him. Some of my clients out there struggled at running back. I said, run out and pick this dude up. They picked him up. He's going to start this week. So Green Bay, their defense is very, very bendy. You're going to get a lot of yards off him, possibly a touchdown off him. So Kahil Bell, he's a nice start. And at quarterback for Chicago, they think Josh McCown is going to help things. Well, I guess it can't hurt. But he did come into the game, and he threw a pick late last week. So, just all in all, a horrible situation at quarterback for Chicago. Monday night, talking about great quarterbacks, Drew Brees is probably going to try to match Aaron Rodgers' output this week. Drew Brees throwing the ball everywhere and looking great. Jimmy Graham must start. You have the biggest quandary in fantasy football this week. Lance Moore, Marquise Colston. Risky. Both of them are risky plays, but the way Drew Brees is playing, if you have either of them, they're both good starts, depending on your receiver depth. Lance Moore has been a touchdown whore as of late. 5 catches, 2 of them for touchdowns last week. And Colston, I hate to start him because he vanishes at times. It's not a good week for him to vanish, and you know what? If you have a better play, slide in a better receiver here. Let me touch on the running back situation quickly. Mark Ingram, if he's a question mark, keep an eye on that situation. But Chris Ivory, still leading the team in carries, still leading the team in yards. So, just something to chew on. I also think they're going to continue to utilize Darren Sproles. An excellent flex play here. Catches the ball, runs the ball surprisingly well. Atlanta, they're normal guys. Julio Jones, Tony Gonzalez, Roddy White. Matt Ryan's been looking pretty good as of late. My only guy to steer clear from, I hate Michael Turner and the way he's been running lately. Not pretty. If Jacksonville wouldn't have muffed it at the 5-yard line last week, he would have had an absolutely shit game. So, keep an eye on Michael Turner. If you have a better option this week, slide someone in above Michael Turner. He's going to have a hard time running this week. He looks old. They're going to be playing catch-up a lot. They're going to have to throw the ball, and that's not Michael Turner's bag of tricks right there. So, be smart. Don't let your pride get in the way. And if you have a better option with a better matchup, slide them in over Michael Turner. There you have it. Spud Nation, all you fantasy football players out there, all you soon-to-be Super Bowl champions, good luck and Merry Christmas. Shoot me an email, Craig@thesportscoach.com. I would love to help you guys out. Hey, till next time, maybe next year, you know where to find me. Good luck, Merry Christmas, we're out.